Hello, viewers. This is Amplifier, and the next Nintendo news topic we're talking about is that Sonic Forces producer has discussed changes like the ring system in the game and much more other changes that we expect to change in Sonic Forces because our like in Sonic Forces, Sonic loses his rings every time he's hit by when he runs into an enemy, accidentally falls on spikes or anything else. But sometimes he doesn't have the ability to, regain the rings, excuse me, I don't know why I said coins, like the rings that he drops. So why did they decide to make this change for Forces? Again, this game comes out sometime in November, so stay tuned for that. So, let's find out more. Let's get to the changes that lie in Sonic Forces. I know these topics like this was 4 days for like okay 2 days ago. It was just because I was busy with I was trying to sleep over and I couldn't record these, so apologies. But Game Informer has published a rather lengthy interview with Sonic Forces producer Shun Nakamura. There's a lot to be learned from the interview, which discusses everything from the changes to the ring system to the inclusion of Sonic Generation style levels. So let's begin with change number one. In Sonic Forces, Sonic loses his rings when hit like always, but he doesn't have the ability to regain them. This is a huge departure from the series' history, and it seems to go against the notion of classic Sonic. Why make this change? Why can't Sonic get the rings that he drops? We realized Sonic Mania came out, obviously, and had classic Sonic portrayed in the classic world. With the classic gameplay of when you get hit, you lose all your rings, you have the chance to gather them back up and continue running. This is this was made that was made by a different team with a different design aesthetic of creating a classic Sonic title. What my team wanted to do with Sonic Forces is really expand on the game design and make something different and new to the Sonic Forces world, which is more modern. When we designed the game, we just wanted to make sure it was balanced properly so it's not too easy but not too challenging. Since presenting it at E3, we heard a lot of people ask what you have, and it's something the team feels really strongly about. They do like the design of Sonic Forces as we presented it, but we've also listening to a lot of people saying that they want the classic gameplay element back. We believe what is made is a good balance. It will be a great experience for people, but we're also hearing that people are wanting something that we haven't provided to them. I'm still sitting with the team just digesting it and figuring out what to do. It's an unresolved topic. You're amongst the team. With Sonic Mania proving so successful, how do you differentiate the classic Sonic gameplay in Sonic Forces from the retro style found in Sonic Mania? It's different teams creating Mania and Forces. Excuse me. But we were watching some builds come in for Mania, and we were like, "Wow, that's a really good game." It hits that classic Genesis Mega Drive era of gameplay right on the head. It's solid. When we were all looking at what was being done in Sonic Mania, we were like, there's a couple of ideas in here that are really good. But from a classic standpoint, what we were doing is looking back to Sonic Generations and saying, look, we need the classic Sonic. I'll be right back when it starts to load properly. We are back and finally the websites are loading properly, so like we got Sonic Generations saying, look, let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me get back down. Oopsies. There we go. Let's see. Excuse me. Okay, look, we need classic Sonic gameplay, and people really like Sonic Generations. So let's bring that into Sonic Forces. We also asked, how can we also expand on that Sonic Generations classic style gameplay and make it to something more than Sonic Generations was? There's a little bit of a design difference in design philosophy in the base content that each team is reversing for Mania and Forces. How long should fans expect a typical playthrough to last? This should be The game content is going to be very similar to Sonic Colors or Sonic Generations. If you think about experiencing it from start to finish, what's going to be additional is that all the little teams, the team that's inside the game that will require you to go back and play with different and more powerful Wispons. There's content in there that makes sure that everyone can play through the game and have a fun time. But there's also some little things to do later if you really want to dig into the game. We'll be there for you. One thing I do want to make sure everyone understands is that we're selling Sonic Forces at $39.99 in America. And we don't want people to think that this is maybe a short game or this is a lesser experience that we've done in the past. So our Forces, nobody should be worried that they're getting less content or that there's not an even extra stuff in there. Or that we cut some corners. That's really not the case. So if you see the game at a cheap price, don't think the game's going to be super short and not even long. No, 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 no. The game has plenty of content to keep you pretty much occupied. So imagine like Mario Odyssey, but really, it's probably gonna be the same playthrough like almost Odyssey. Maybe around Odyssey. It kind of depends. I don't know. I'm not really a. I don't want to really get into. I don't really want to think too much into that. You can also read the full interview here. Like if you want to find out more information about the little changes. But I guess I'm gonna go to the full interview right now and check if there's anything else that's interesting to find out. Oh yeah, here's the interview at GameInformer.com. Here's the website. We also have another question. You already have announced a couple of different DLC packs. Sega and Atlas Pack and Episode Shadow. Do you plan on supporting Sonic Forces long-term through DLC? Will we see actual story content added DLC beyond Episode Shadow? There is really no long-term plans to continue releasing content to support Forces, but we created Episode Shadow and the Sega Atlas Pack for everyone to play and enjoy. We're trying to get much content out there for people to jump right into the game and play. The Sega Atlas DLC pack includes costumes from games like Persona 5 and Super Monkey Ball. Are there any other franchises you would like to collaborate with? The team had a lot of fun taking the content from those games that were represented in the Sonic universe. If we have more opportunities, we would definitely love to explore other licensed content. With so many bad guys in Sonic Forces, did you address the potential problem of making sure they would have enough time on screen that they would feel like actual threats and not just cameo appearances? For the enemies, especially for Infinite, because he's the main new enemy, you wanted to make sure we put him in the story that included him in from beginning to end, and that the characters were interacting with him constantly throughout the game. When we're making Sonic Forces, we realized some of the previous games didn't really have a strong secondary main villain. So you want to make sure that when you put Infinite in the game, you saw him enough and were interacting with him enough that he really felt that you, as a character, had a connection with him as a threat. With Sonic Forces, you're already taking a decidedly darker approach than we have previously seen. The Dark Man has already taken over the world, and Sonic is leading the resistance. Was this an intentional shift after recent games were more lighthearted in tone? It wasn't necessarily that we set out to make a dark world, but when we're thinking about making everything a little more dramatic and making the enemies feel more like enemies, what the team really wanted to do was have Sonic as this really powerful and positive character, and then the enemies as these really strong villain characters. What we wanted to do was really make those villain characters feel like villains and do what we need to do what we need to see some villainous activities going on. There's got to be something done in this world to make sure that like Eggman's really taken over and is a threat. But putting Sonic in this threatening situation, it turned out that the world has become dark and we had to tell this dark story. Perhaps it came to be a dark story because of what we wanted to do with the characters, more so than we set out to make a dark story. We really like the world that's gone. Hearing people say that they really like it, and that's different from what we've done in the past, makes us feel good, like we're going in the right direction. Is there anything that you want to share with the fans about Sonic Forces, such as what you're excited about in the game, or any misconceptions you want to clear up? The final part. Again, here's the release date. It comes out November 7th. Sonic Forces comes out on November 7th for PS4, Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch, and PC. You want to keep that in mind. I really want people to enjoy creating their own avatar and character in the world, because while we have this world where Sonic is a really strong, really unique kind of hero character, the character that you make is going to be a regular person who's in this world that Eggman has destroyed, and you have to now sneak in and be like, hey Sonic, come save me. You have to now stand up and join the resistance and become part of the positive force fighting against Eggman. You get to go on an adventure with Sonic the Hedgehog and get better and stronger. Then at the very end, be a companion of Sonic. We're hoping everyone gets to make their character and goes on this adventure with Sonic feeling like they're as strong as him and that they're really helping out and saving the world from Dr. Eggman. That was a lot of changes to Sonic Forces. Like the gameplay changes, the ring system changes so much. Just a lot. Like, does that interview really explain the changes and hype that fans should expect to see in Sonic Forces? And again, don't you dare think the price. That's because Sonic Forces is just $40. And if you pre-ordered it, you would have to pay $35 because pre-ordering games at GameStop, that's where I mostly pre-order my Switch titles. There's you have to pay $5, then pay the rest when the game comes out. So if I pay so Sonic Forces for Switch, as they're gonna for the Switch, obviously, because I already have a Nintendo Switch, obviously. Is $39.99, which is $40, including tax. If you subtract $5 from that pre-order, you pay for the pre-order. That means all you have to do is possibly pay around $35. It's so almost not even much of a threat. So I can get Forces immediately, so I can start Let's Playing it, possibly, when it comes out on November 7th to prepare and enjoy what's hiding Sonic Forces. Maybe when I get Forces and Mania, Mania I already don't have to worry about, because I already know a little bit about, I'm like halfway through, I have halfway knowledge of Mania, but I don't actually have the game yet. But Forces, it might be blind because I'm gonna go completely. Most of the playthrough, I'm gonna go blind. Like, I don't want to expect what to do. I'll do things on my own and then figure out if I left out anything, I would just come back and do it later. That's how I want to do it. So why not? Yeah, it can't be that bad. But thank you so much for watching. See you later.